All right. Let us bring in our final speaker. We have Jenny Gill joining us. She is a Ph.D. student in environmental science at the University of Puerto Rico. And she is a NASA Puerto Rico Space Partnership for Research, Innovation, and Training Fellow working with microalgae cultivation to grow on the International Space Station. She is currently one of the coordinators of the Caribbean National Geographic Hub as a National Geographic Explorer. She's also a Fulbright-National Geographic Digital Storytelling Fellow, and she traveled to 3 Smithsonian Tropical Research Institute facilities in Panama. She collected microalgae samples, and she documents her research in Spanish and English through blogging, through microscopic pictures, and of course, through video. So I'm going to bring Jenny in with us now. Hi, Jenny. How you doing? Oh, Jenny, can you grab your mic for us?
Here we go.
Perfect. We have you now. Hi, Jenny.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Of course, Jenny. We're thrilled to have you joining us from Puerto Rico today. In fact, Jenny, we have, I'm going to share my screen just for 1 second here because I really want to highlight that we have had just an amazing group joining us from all over the world. 20 countries represented, 6 continents. Some of the small ones you can't see there include the Cook Islands, the Seychelles, Burundi, as well as Puerto Rico, which you can almost just see right there. It almost turns blue for us. So great to have you joining us, Jenny. I'm going to let you take over for a little bit, and then we'll see if we have a couple questions.
Thank you. Let me share my screen. Are you able to see?
Yeah, it's there. We're ready.
Okay. Have you ever felt invisible? Maybe because you come from a small island like Puerto Rico. Or maybe you have gone into a room and everybody doesn't speak your native language, como el Español. Or maybe you're a woman in a male-dominated field, like science. These are all the reasons that I have felt invisible. But it was that sense of invisibility that got me to study microalgaes. Microalgaes are microscopic algae. That means that you need a microscope to be able to see them. They're photosynthetic, just like plants. They feed out of the sunlight, but they are not plants because they don't contain any root, stem, or leaf. That one that you just saw right there, let me put it again, is a beautiful euglena, which is one of my favorites. And the flagella, the top part that you see, is what the microalgae uses to move. Joe, you're there, right? Joe? Yes, okay. So let's all breathe with me, okay? We're gonna do an exercise of breathing, okay? One more time. Actually, 50% of the oxygen we breathe come from microalgae. So thank you, microalgae. Even though microalgae are invisible, they are very important because they're the first one in the food web. That means that without them, none of these organisms will exist, like fish, whales, dolphins, sharks, even corals. Yes, microalgae gives color to the corals. The coral that you see to your left is a healthy coral, which has microalgae, while the one to your right has gone through coral bleaching and does not have microalgae anymore. Corals and microalgae have a symbiotic relationship. This microalgae is called zooxanthella. Now I'll talk a little bit about me, even though I just want to keep talking about algae. But I am a Fulbright-National Geographic Storyteller Fellow, and thanks to this fellowship, I was able to travel to Panama and work at the Smithsonian collecting microalgae throughout the Panama Canal. And I am currently a first-year PhD student at the University of Puerto Rico with a STRI NASA fellowship. I just wanted to encourage every student that is hearing me now to not be afraid to apply to internships, fellowships, or any grants or any of these opportunities, because you need to try. And if you fail, that's okay, you try again. NASA right now, you can apply for their internships. Their deadlines are in March. Fulbright and the Smithsonian have the applications open too, so you can go into their websites and find out more. When I was thinking for my project, how do I explain to everyone the importance of microalgaes? Well, I thought that the best way to do that was using your 5 senses. First, with sight, using the microscope pictures, then with hearing, synchronizing the movement of the microalgaes to music, smell with algae soaps, touch with 3D models of the microalgaes, and finally with taste. Microalgaes are actually very nutritious, and I make microalgae cookies. So I traveled to Panama. I first started at the Pacific, then I went to Lago Gatun, and finally to the Caribbean. This beautiful microalgae is a cosmerium that I collected in the Pacific side. The cosmerium is a diatom, and diatoms are very special because they're made of silica, which is like a glass-like structure. And when diatoms die, they sink into the bottom of the ocean and fertilizes it. Microalgaes are just amazing. But other than collecting microalgaes, I also collected stories. The first story I collected is of Rogelio Moreno, Gill, and he did all the microscope pictures that you see. I will collect the samples and I will give it to Rogelio, so he took all of those wonderful pictures. This is his Instagram and you can follow him there. This other beautiful microalgae was collected at Lake Gatun. So this is freshwater microalgae. This is a planetarium. And planetarium really reminds me of Panama. It has an isthmus, which is the division that you can see right there, and it is a green microscopic algae. And in Lake Gatun, I had the wonderful opportunity. This was the best day ever, the happiest day of my life, when I got to collect microalgae at the Canal of Panama, and I had a chance to scrape the walls, the log walls. It was just amazing. And also they did, the Panama Canal did a documentary. So it was just great. And there, I also collected a story. While we were filming, the captain of the boat told me that he have gotten many people, many scientists, he have taken many scientists to collect microalgae before, but that I am the first one to show him what they are and explain it to him. And this is that moment when he's looking under the microscope. Trust me, he was very excited. He was so happy. And in that moment, I realized my purpose, that it was to communicate the importance of microalgae to everyone. And we became very good friends too. Then I went to the Caribbean, which I was very excited because I was gonna find the dinoflagellates, which are the microalgae that have bioluminescence. That means that they glow at night. It was the first time that I was gonna collect at night. And I brought my net, and I remember getting the net up, and it just glowed completely. And this is a dinoflagellate. Also, I did a lot of outreach activities. I really enjoy showing microalgae under the microscope to everyone. Kids get very excited, but not only kids get curious, also grandfathers or grandmothers too. There's no age limit to the wonders of the microscope. Everybody likes it. Now we're gonna go to Tosh. For Tosh, I did 3D models, just like this ones. These are made with filaments of microalgae. And it was an activity for vision impaired students. And the vision impaired students were able to learn about microalgae using their senses. And I also added Braille to the 3D models. So students were able to read the name of the microalgae. Okay, I have a surprise for you because I know it's Valentine's. Okay, I'm gonna put my glasses on, my heart-shaped glasses. And now we are gonna hear the algae, but we're gonna dance with the euglena, okay? You at home or anywhere you are, I want you to dance with me, okay? I love that euglena. This was done by a local musicians, and they synchronized the movement of the euglena to music. And another of my hobbies is to do algae soap, homemade algae soaps. Algae soaps have many good properties for our skin. They are great antibacterial. They have that property. Also, they help with acne, have a lot of antioxidants, and even help reduce wrinkles. I made some here for Valentine's too, Joe, and everyone else. They're here. You see, I don't know if you can see them. And they smell great. And now, I forgot something very important about smell. When we go to the ocean and we smell that beautiful ocean smell, guess where that ocean smell comes from? It comes from the microalgae. Yes, the microalgae release a chemical called DMC, dimethyl sulfide. And that's why we have that beautiful smell of the ocean. And finally, we can eat microalgae. And microalgae are very nutritious to us, have very high in vitamins, antioxidants, very high in proteins too. I drink chlorella to lower my cholesterol. And I have some cookies right here. It's my heart-shaped cookie for Valentine's. I'm just gonna eat one piece. Delicious. I love microalgae. So good. Don't lie to me. The first time you saw this picture, I know that you were thinking of space. I know that you were thinking it was some type of planet. Well, my new project as a PhD student is to take microalgae to space. And maybe you may be wondering, how would microalgae help astronauts in the International Space Station? Well, it will help them with the air quality. It will also help them in the nutrition. They're going to be able to eat the microalgae. The microalgae could be used for fertilizing the plants that they are already growing. Also, microalgae have a very nice property that some of them can grow in urine. And some microalgae can transform that urine into water. And we learned too that you can do filaments out of microalgae for the 3D printing. And that's another option that the astronauts will have. Oh, I forgot to tell you, yes. So in space, how do they grow them, the microalgae? Well, they grow them in this little plastic bag. And for my project, I plan to not use a plastic bag, but use possibly a bag made of algae, so to do it more eco-friendly. And it also needs very special lights. Okay, I have the lights here. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see them. Let's see. You need blue, woo, and red light. These are the type of lights that plants and microalgae need to grow faster. Now the invisible story of microalgae has become visible to all of you. Remember, if something is invisible, it doesn't mean that it's not important. Look at us now, that something invisible has changed our life. Science is for everyone. If we want to change the world, we need everyone's help, even the invisible microalgae's help. Thank you.
All right, Jenny, that was great. I mean, is there anything that microalgae can't do?
I know, right? They're amazing. And I learned something with Gael. She talked about algae eyes, right?
Wow.
How he melted ice in the and there was algae inside. That was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. Well, look, Jenny, I mean, 50% of the air we breathe comes from microalgae. They are the base of the food web. Why don't they get more love? Why isn't everybody excited about microalgae?
I don't know. I don't know, Joe. They're amazing. I mean, you can eat them.
Well, it's
maybe because they're small size and people are not looking through a microscope.
Yeah, I think out of sight, out of mind sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Well, it's a good thing they have a champion in you, Jenny, who can spread the word about it. And thank you for showing us all the amazing things you made there. You had the cookies. You had the...
Yes, I have to send you one. You have to send me your address. I'll send you soap.
You will have to send me an algae cookie. That would be awesome. Yeah, or some soap.
I'll send you soap.
Very cool. The cookie might not make it. That's probably a good choice.
Yes.
Better choice. And then the lights. Yeah, very cool. We were able to see everything. I put it nice and big.
Oh, okay. Okay, I wasn't sure. I was like, oh.
Yeah. No, it's very cool.
Yeah, but I really want to encourage students to apply to all of these opportunities.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of great opportunities with the Fulbright opportunity, the NASA opportunity, the Smithsonian opportunity. And you know what? A lot of people might talk themselves out of it. No, they'll never choose me, or my project's not interesting enough. But you've got to put yourself out there. You got to try. You got to take chances, right?
Yes, you have to try. Actually, for the Fulbright-National Geographic Fellowship, it was my second time. So the first time I didn't get it, but I apply again. All
right. Excellent. So we know we've probably identified about 1.3 million species on the planet. There's probably like 8 to 10 million, maybe even more on the planet. Do you think there's still tons of microalgae species to be discovered?
Oh, yes, they are. I am sure about them. And there's so many places in the oceans that we haven't reached before. So there's a lot to discover. Hopefully I can discover one, but if I don't, it's okay too.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about some of the collections you've done. You talked about in Panama and the Panama Canal. None of those species are new ones?
No, Joe.
Well, I have a feeling that you're going to find more than one in your microalgae quest.
Thank you.
Very, very cool. So Jenny, a big theme, actually, the next question I want to get to is, you showed so many people seeing microalgae for the first time,
Yeah.
old to the young, and it's exciting for a lot of people. Let's hear a little bit about your first experience. Do you remember the first time you saw microalgae?
I think I can't remember the exact moment I saw microalgae. I think I really do remember the first time I looked under the microscope was sand. It was the first thing I looked. And I was like, wow, that's wonderful. Like many of us has said, is during childhood that curiosity opens up. I live near the ocean, so I was always very curious about small things. I really like the small things.
Yeah. And there's a whole world that opens up to you if you slow down a little bit and take a look at the small things. And it's even easier than ever, right? You can get things and you can put them right on your smartphone that can amplify and magnify.
Oh, there's the paper microscope.
Right. Yeah. So there's no excuse. Everybody should be slowing down, taking a look, collecting microalgae. And then once you get good at that, you can start.
There's something curious. You can even find microalgae in the bowl of water of your dog.
Yeah.
So microalgae are everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. Well, Jenny, what's next for you? I know, right now you probably can't travel a lot, but is there a project you're working on, a project on the horizon you're really excited about, a place you want to get to?
Yes. So right now I am back in my island, which has been so good because I am learning things about my island I didn't know before. So I am discovering again. So it's just wonderful. And just learning more about how to grow microalgae in space. And I'm growing it in urine too. So I'm trying to figure out which is a good microalgae that will be able to grow in space and in urine. So that's my next project. And I'm also always so involved with the community, even though the beaches are now open. So we clean beaches too. And we have the Caribbean Hub, which is an amazing hub to be at. And we talk about our issues that are going on in the Caribbean, and we can really have a very nice community there.
Very, very cool. And I think that's a lot of, we work with a lot of scientists and explorers, and I think that's a pretty common theme is now that they're home, they're realizing there's so much around them that they haven't noticed before, and they're kind of exploring more in their own communities, and they're pretty excited about that. So that's pretty cool.
Yes.
And then I think that's it. I think that is how we get.
How we finish.
No, I was going to say, I think this is how we get microalgae on the map is through the space station, through your project, get them up into space. And that is what's going to get them on the map. Everybody's going to be talking about microalgae on the space station in zero gravity. Pretty cool.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Let's see. I think the perfect question to end off on is a two-parter. So is there somebody who inspired you to do the work that you're doing? Is there somebody that you look up to, a female explorer or scientist that inspires you?
Yeah, even when I was young, it's Ada Monzon. She's the weather meteorologist in the screen. And since I was young, I always saw her communicating science. So I want to be like her. I want to be able to communicate science. And that's what I've been doing through this. And the microscope and the algae, they kind of found me, studying science and exploring. it's important that you as a student in first year, it's okay, you don't know what you want to concentrate in, but explore.
Absolutely. I think that's great advice. And I like that you brought up passion, because you clearly have a passion for microalgae.
Yes.
I bet you that passion rubs off on everybody that you meet and that you introduce to microalgae. So you and yourself have become a great science communicator and a powerful advocate for microalgae.
Thank you, Joe.
All right. Well, Jenny, thank you so much. It was great to see you. It was great to have you share with us. I'm definitely going to send my address because I want to try some of that. So it looks pretty darn cool. So yeah, Jenny, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for wrapping up a crazy weekend of over 50 live events celebrating women in science.
You're so amazing, Joe.
It was a blast. It was a great weekend, and really just a privilege to share so many amazing stories from around the world.
And very inspiring for me, at least.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad you were able to tune into some. Yeah, Jenny, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us and representing the Caribbean. And yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. You have a great rest of the weekend.
You too.